Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the secret life of your stuff. It's this incredible global dance of strategy and science that gets things from halfway across the world right into your hands.
So, here's a question for you. How does something as delicate as a flower travel 2,000 miles from a field in Colombia all the way to a vase in the US without wilting? It sounds kind of simple, right? But the answer, well, it's a super fascinating puzzle of speed, cost, and science. And solving it is going to unlock the secrets behind how pretty much everything gets from a factory on one continent to your front door.
Okay, so to get to the bottom of our flower mystery, we've got to first understand the big challenge, the one that anyone shipping anything internationally faces, whether we're talking about cars or coffee beans.
You see, getting stuff from one place to another isn't just, simple transport. It's more like a high-stakes game of chess. Every single product has its own ticking clock, its own weaknesses. And choosing the right path, it's not just important, it's everything.
All right, so let's crack open the toolkit for this whole operation. We're going to start with the basics, with the pros called the means of transport. These are the actual physical ways you can move something from point A to point B. First up, you've got the absolute workhorse of global trade, maritime transport. Just picture these giant container ships. They're the slow, steady, and super cheap movers of the world. Perfect for hauling massive, heavy things where cost is a way bigger deal than speed.
Then, on the complete other end, you've got air transport. This is the global express lane. Yeah, it's pricey, but when you're moving something that's light, super valuable, or spoils easily, think medicine or, maybe some flowers, that speed and safety is totally worth it. And rounding out our toolkit is terrestrial transport. We're talking trucks and trains. Now, these are the crucial last-mile connectors. They're like the arteries and veins of the whole system, carrying goods from the factory to the port, and then from the destination port all the way to a warehouse or a storefront. They're what make door-to-door even possible.
Okay, so you've got your tools, ships, planes, trucks. But here's the thing, that's only half the story. The real genius is in how you put them all together. And this brings us to what's called the mode of transport. This is your game plan.
You could go the simple route and just use one method for the whole trip. That's called unimodal. Or you can get creative. With multimodal transport, you basically hire a logistics expert. Think of them as a travel agent for your cargo. They'll cook up a custom plan, mixing ships, planes, and trucks to get you the best possible combo of speed and cost.
But the real magic, honestly, is something called intermodal transport. And the key here is the container. It gets loaded and sealed right at the factory. And then that same box gets passed seamlessly from a truck to a ship to a train. The cargo inside never even touched. That means it's incredibly efficient and the risk of something getting damaged just plummets.
But wait, there's one more decision on the table. Do you need a whole container all to yourself? That's a full container load, or FCL, kind of like your own private moving van. But what if you don't have enough stuff to fill it? Well, you can save some cash by sharing space with other shippers. That's called a less than container load, or LCL. It's basically a carpool for your cargo.
Okay, so we've got our toolkit of means and modes all laid out. Now let's circle back to our big question and figure out once and for all how to get those fragile Colombian flowers all the way to a vase in the US.
So a good exporter, they're basically running down a checklist. They're asking, okay, what exactly am I shipping? Is it fragile? Does it go bad? What's my budget? How fast does it really need to be there? And a huge one is, can the ports and airports I'm using even handle this stuff?
Right, so when we run our flowers through that checklist, the answer becomes crystal clear, like right away. A trip by sea? That takes weeks. For a fresh flower, that's a death sentence. The risk of the product getting ruined is just way too high. And keeping that crucial cold chain, that constant cool temperature, is practically impossible on a long boat ride.
So here's the bottom line. Yeah, flying the flowers is more expensive, but it's really the only choice. These flowers are so perishable and so valuable that the speed and the controlled environment of an airplane are completely non-negotiable. That extra cost, it just gets baked into the final price you pay for that beautiful bouquet.
But hold on, there's another layer to this. Making the right choice isn't just about what's best for the product or the company's wallet. Shippers also have to play by a whole bunch of rules. Take Colombia, for example. The decision-making process there is shaped in a big way by some really strong environmental laws. You've got laws like Lane 99 that say transport has to be sustainable. Plus, their trade deals often demand clean transport methods. So being green isn't just a nice PR move, it's a flat-out legal and business requirement.
So, what's the big takeaway here? Getting something from point A to point B is never, ever a simple delivery. It's this incredibly complex, strategic puzzle. It's a constant balancing act between what the product needs, the cost, the speed, and of course, the rules of the game. And that's why this is so cool. The next time you're sipping your morning coffee or you pick up your phone, just pause for a second. Think about the journey it took. Because behind that everyday object is this hidden, globe-spanning story of logistics, strategy, and amazing coordination. It makes you wonder, right? What other secret journeys are hiding in plain sight all around us?